Small home living, that is what I am sharing with you today. Welcome to our 950 square foot home as a family of almost 6. So come along today and see how I have set up our home inside for function, practicality, and usefulness. Hello friends, and welcome to my small home tour. Come on in and I'm going to share how our 950 square foot home is organized and displayed for almost a family of 6. Well, right here we are in our front entryway, and this is a very small space. I keep it very minimal, very simple. We have a homemade coat rack. I do have a decorative basket, which would work for actually taking to the grocery store to get some produce or items we might need. It is about a 4 by 3 space. It actually technically is not part of the 950 square footage of our home, but it is a nice little entry to have our guests hang our coats, put their shoes, wipe their feet on a rug. So let's go into the rest of the house. Also, if you are coming over from Hillary's channel, I'm so glad you are here because we are both sharing our home tours, organized and how we function as our families. She has a beautiful home, a wonderful family of 6. She shares some great inspiration over on her channel. So don't forget to check her out if you haven't come from her channel and you are just starting here. But we have done a few collabs before, and she just is always such an encouragement, a great friend. Check her channel out. And thanks for coming over if you are coming over from her channel. So I'm going to be sharing, like it says, my small home tour. Well, this is the living space. I'm standing next to the back of our couch. As you enter, we have a little space that you can walk through to get to our seating, and then have the couch here and some more seating over in this area. And I'm going to share with you how I've organized a few of our toys, our books, and things like that to keep the home looking neat and clean, yet still functional, because we are a growing family and we do have 3 kids so far and 1 on the way. Probably by the time you see this, it'll be like 1 week out of my due date. So let me share how I organize a few things in the living space. So let me actually start here with our coffee table. So in here we hold our library books, and then in the other drawer we have some other kids magazines, a few little card games, and just things that the kids can do while we're sitting out here as a family, and things that they might enjoy having in this coffee table. I keep it pretty simple on top because we have kids 2, 4, and 6 of age, so things that are breakable, flowers, probably not the best idea. So this is a well-loved coffee table, but great storage as well. Great for guests, for kids, for all of us to enjoy. So let's move to some of the other places that I have storage in. So as you can see, I have a little basket here that has all of my morning routine books, Bibles, journal, planner, things like that. And I am an avid proponent of having thrifted baskets in a house because they corral everything. They look cute, they hold whatever you need, and they're very affordable. I've done some videos and over on my blog about how to use thrifted baskets in your home and finding thrifted baskets and just different ways to use them. So you can check that out on my blog or on some other YouTube videos I've shared before. But baskets here. One area you can't see, and this has stayed the same, under this chair, we have magnet tiles, just in these plastic Sterilite containers. And it's great to have a few kids' toys out here as well, because then when company comes over, we have a lot of friends with kids, our kids, they can just pull out the magnet tiles and play with them as needed and tuck them back under the chair, which is really helpful. Not a cute basket, I get that, but if you push it back under far enough, you can't see it, and sometimes practical is okay, and if other kids see it, then they want to pull it out too. All right, let's revert over to here. This is our book box, and I got this box for $2 at a garage sale before I had kids, so 6-7 years ago. And it just stores every book we have out here. The kids have books also in their room in a chest style basket. So lots of storage with baskets. And then I'll just show you a little bit over on the other side of this love seat. All right, so what we have going on over here, this used to be a doorway. Before we moved here, someone put a mirror on the other side, and so I love the built-ins. I've put some wallpaper behind it and just made it more of a decorative built-in shelf. And then these two cabinets here, they hold our DVDs and I think a few random candle holders that I have in there. And then in this basket here, we have wonderful things that our kids love to look through, like photo albums. So those are really fun to have out. Great for guests to look at too. We also have some books that my husband reads because he does his morning time over here. So his Bible's over here, and a couple of his other books are in this basket that we have here. So very simple, very just easy to access, and not a lot of storage out in this area, but you don't need a lot when you keep a pretty minimal house. All right, so I don't show this angle very often in any of my other videos, but when you walk in from the front, you can either choose to go to the living area or you can go to our what we call piano area / open floor play area. It really doesn't have a great name. It's technically the dining room, and we don't have our dining table out here. We have our table in the eating kitchen. So the piano, I used to give lots of piano lessons. I used to be a music teacher before I became a stay-at-home mom, and so I would give private lessons as well. But the piano has stayed because it's a beautiful gift from my grandmother when she passed. But let me share with you how I've stored a few things over here and then around just on this side. And I keep it very open because when we do have guests, we want them to feel like they aren't crowded and cluttered. And also the kids love playing in this area over here, like I mentioned. So right here in this picnic basket is my two daughters' curriculum for homeschool. So preschool and first grade, and they can easily access it then because it's just right here. We do a lot at our kitchen table, so that is a great place for them to grab it out and get it when we do our homeschool. And also we've been doing a little summer homeschool, so that's why it's still out and right there, and it's just a great spot. A thrifted picnic basket, it's lidded, so all the papers don't get pulled out where books get pulled out as often, and it's cute again. So on the other side of the piano, we do have all of our sheet music and books for playing piano, for singing, and other music items that hold things that you need when you play music. So this would be our other side of the dining room, technically. I have a music stand there, that's what that's called. It holds, technically supposed to hold music, and it does. It stores some music as well, but I'll show you what I actually have in there. And then we have some other baskets with some other toys and kids' cars and things like that, because again, just having a few toys out in the living space is great for the kids, keeps them occupied, and they can find their toys easily. Yes, they have some toys in their room too, but we'll get to that. So over here, right behind me, I have two picnic baskets. They contain things like tractors and little cars and a few more other little books for younger kids, toddler age. And then there are some other like little puzzles, wood puzzles in here for the kiddos to play with as well. I love picnic baskets. The aesthetic of them being stacked is super cute in my opinion. And again, just practical. They can open the lid and they can grab out what they would like. So first, this little basket holds my little boys, Melissa and Doug, tools. So he has all these in here. The girls love playing with it too. But this honestly is just a floating basket. It literally stays over here. It goes to their bedroom. It's really nice to have just to haul around, to corral things, and it's again really cute. It is open, but it makes it easy for a 2-year-old to just toss all the toys back in. So that sits over here. And then in here, like I said, I have like extra essential oils in the top and a address book, some few lids that go with my Crocs, very random. And then in this part is all of extra sheet music. Like I said, there are some extra things for my husband and I are on boards at our church. So for him, he's got his binder in there for his church things. I do for our ladies group, and just different organization things for different groups we're in. It's nice because it is meant for paper, so it stores things nicely. Again, another gift from my grandmother, so having that nostalgic item as well, but is very practical for storage. Okay, now we are going to make our way into the kitchen area, and I'm going to share how I have organized some of the cabinets and cupboards in our eat-in kitchen as well, and then we'll make our way down the hall to the bathroom and the 2 bedrooms, and that will basically be our home. So 950 square foot doesn't contain a lot, so you have to make it function really well for the space you have, and especially for the amount of people you'll have. With about 6 people, like I said, about close to having 6 people, we really need to function and manage our items in our home and our real estate that we have well. So let's jump into the kitchen. So in the kitchen, I have, I feel like, ample amount of cupboard space. The kitchen is a well-sized kitchen for the amount of home that we have. So in here we have our teas and mugs, some extra essential oils, and extra supplies of boxed tea bags, our travel mugs. It's kind of a random cupboard, but it really functions well for us. My husband and my supplements at the top. So it works well for what we have, and we know where things are. And yes, it is a creaky kitchen because it was built in the 60s. It's just very flat cabinetry and the hinges squeak, but you gotta love the older houses. I did share a simple updated kitchen reveal video back in April, I want to say. I repainted the cabinets, put new pulls and hinges on, and just kind of did a refresh of our kitchen. So I'll put that in the description box if you're interested in watching that. All right, let's move on. Over here, we have our organization storage containers, some extra jars at the top, cheese graters, some extra things that I don't use a whole lot because it goes way back in the corner, same as down below. It's kind of the Narnia cupboard cabinet because it just goes around the corner and you don't want to lose or drop anything back there. So those are the items that you use maybe once a year, twice a year, that you stick back in the corner. Over here we have plates and little bowls, serving dishes. I love a good stoneware bowl, so I do have quite a few of those because I do serve guests in those. I mix my foods in those, and I just love the look of those bowls and the use of them. And then extra bowls and stuff like that on the top. Last cupboard, glassware. So drinking glasses, and I use mason jars mainly for drinking glasses, and then some wine glasses. We don't drink, but they're fun to have for sparkling waters and stuff like that. So that's this upper side, and I'll share with you the bottom side. So down here, junk drawer. This, I have shared organization videos with you on that, and all my cabinets, honestly. So then we have towels and dishcloths, and we use cloth napkins. Bag storage organizer plus cling wrap, aluminum foil, stuff like that in this one. And then kids cups, like our 2-year-old drinks out of those, and extra aprons for crafty projects. Nice to have them in the kitchen since we're at the table a lot. Here is our bigger utensils, measuring cups, ice cream scoop, spatulas, stuff like that. I do keep it pretty minimal and streamlined and have a few organization bins that I've had since I used to shop at the dollar store. So 8 years ago. They're not fancy, they're brighter colors, but they function. And then in here are silverware and baby utensils, extra metal straws, things like that. Down here, this one can get tricky because, again, like I said, it goes all the way over by the side of the dishwasher. So our glass 9x13s, 8x8s, my bread baking pans. I do have extra plates that I have saved because we do host quite a bit, and so it's nice to have extra plates, and I like using real. Even some plastic to go or travel containers for like bringing cupcakes or going on a picnic and bringing a veggie tray or something like that. So that's this cupboard right here. In the very back, I have like our waffle iron and like our wok type griddle that we only use every so often. Yes, I'm sure you see these delicious muffins. They are courtesy of Farmhouse on Boone recipe, the lemon poppy seed sourdough muffin. I had to display them because they're just so beautiful, and the kids actually ate some before they went out with their dad for the time I can film. All right, let's move on to some more organization under the sink and to the rest of the kitchen. All right, so under the sink, I literally just have our trash can. We put our paper towels under there, our dishwasher pods, and extra dish soap behind the trash can. And our reverse osmosis water filter is under there. So it takes up a lot of space for that. So we don't have a whole lot under there, which I'm okay with. Keeping that pretty minimal is great because otherwise there gets to be a lot of clutter and things like that under there. I don't keep my cleaning products under there. You'll see where I keep those. All right, then next to me here, spice cabinet. I reorganized this like 1.5 years ago, and I really like the spice jars I got. I'll link them down below because they're from Amazon, and the labels are really cute. Just nice to have a nice organized spice whole cupboard, really. Then the 2 cupboards down here. This one has our larger cookware utensils that are not wood. I have those in the crock right over here. But extra trivets, hot pads for pulling out serving utensils, things like that. And then down below, I have my bigger pots, my Dutch oven, just a few wood cutting boards that we have down there. So pretty basic, pretty simple, but functional because it's right where I need it. And then under the stove in the bottom drawer, I do keep our like jelly roll pans and muffin tins because that is a great place to store those type of things. I want to mention the 2 cabinets above the microwave hold extra spices. So there's 2 containers that I just keep all of our extra spices in, other than our like bulk that we keep in our unfinished basement storage room that we have. All right, over here we have our pantry, basically, I guess you would say. So this is a very small pantry. All my extra surplus, like I said, is in our food storage room that is in our unfinished basement. And then here, this is our go-to cupboard. It has all of our dry goods for snacking and our hot cereals. My kiddos like the multi-meal, stuff like that. We don't eat cold cereals in our home. Granolas, crackers, the raisins, dates, pistachios, almonds, all those things that are great for snacks. And then down here we have our little snack container, my blender, and our toaster, and it's great. There is an outlet right there, so every morning we plug in the toaster and we can toast our homemade bread that we have. This is a really nice place because it's so close to the stove for when I'm making eggs. All right, down below, all my baking supplies, coconut oils, flours, oats, you name it, olive oil. And then below that, I have my hand mixer, my immersion blender, my food processor, and the extra flours that I don't use so much, like gluten-free flour and almond flour and coconut flour and things of that nature. So that is this side of the kitchen. So over here, this door goes down to our back porch that has our laundry in it. And that is, again, technically not part of the 950 square foot. It's uninsulated. I'll actually show it to you. It's not real beautiful, but it is functional. And I've shared a few videos about that, like neutralize the ugly, make a space you don't enjoy beautiful with some practical items, yet adding beauty to it. But I'll share that space with you. For now, I'm going to share with you our little coffee station area. So there's this stand, was from my grandpa, and I love it. It's beautiful. It has that bread drawer, so we actually hold extra coffees in there. Honestly, like this top drawer has our checkbook in it and some extra envelopes, and then my label maker's in one drawer down, and then in the cupboard part of it, I have all our extra coffee beans, our travel mugs, and to-go mugs to throw away because I like bringing coffees to friends or when they come over that they feel like they can take back home with them. So that is this little stand here. So right over here in these cupboards behind me are bulkier items. So our milk jars, because we get raw milk delivery, I store those in there. My kombucha stuff. Let's see. Protein powders, I'm just trying to think here. Extra bibs, that's a very random spot for bibs. Marshmallows, I guess, like s'mores stuff for the summer. Then up top are all my cookbooks, our little travel coolers, and just like a tray that we have up there for taking things when we go outside. So it's kind of random again, but it functions for us. And then down below are my bigger items, Instant Pot and my wheat grinder that I bought not too long ago that I am loving. So that is the kitchen for you. Now that we have exited the kitchen, we're in our hallway. This space is a little tricky to film because it's so narrow. So I'll just share what's in these cupboards. Cleaning products. So all my sprays and Barkeeper's Friend and rags. Then in here we hold our vacuum, dust rags, little dusters. Every kid has a little duster because they want to help dust and it's good to get them dusting. Little cleaning pads. I have some Norwex cloths that I really like. So that is all in these two here. Then right down here in this really large cupboard is all of our papers, board games, some extra school type learning activities for the kids, extra coats. My husband and I store all of our shoes, extra shoes in there. It is a very random cupboard. Extra gifts. I have a tote for extra gifts, for spur of the moment gifts. What else? It is just, we have a lot of board games. We do. We like having people over to play board games. So we do have a lot of those. We play games with our kids. But it is another one of those Narnia style cupboards because it is so deep. I hold our diaper bag in there and my purse, some hats, some extra winter hats are in there. It is just a huge cabinet. If it was empty, our whole family could sit in there and not feel crowded. It is wonderful to have all that storage just in this hallway. So let's move on down to, actually we'll stop at the bathroom first before I talk about the end of our hallway and the storage. I absolutely love this bathroom space. My husband renovated it about a little over 2 years ago. I was pregnant with our little boy. So it is just beautiful. I love how it has finished up. We have one vanity here and that is our storage. So in the vanity, it is a 5-drawer, double door open vanity and it holds what we need. So I'll just share with you what we have in there. So in the top drawer of the vanity, toothbrushes, clippers for fingernails, stuff like that. Second drawer, hair products for the girls. Third drawer, my husband's stuff, very minimal. He doesn't need a whole lot of items. Bottom drawer is my makeup stuff. And yes, you're thinking bottom drawer for your makeup, don't your kids get into that? No, they actually don't. So I don't know why I chose the bottom drawer, but I did. So I have all my serums, my Troops & Co stuff that I like, my deodorant, and a few pieces of jewelry actually that I keep in there just to have it handy. So that is what is in there. And then in our 2 pull-out cupboards that I have, we have our kids' bath toys. I always keep some DIY spray in a rag because I wipe the counters as much as I can. And then a little tote with extras. Extra toothpaste, extra wipes, extra razors, things of that nature. Very bottom drawer. It's a little not organized, I guess you'd say right now, but it holds the fingernail polishes. It has extra coconut oil and some of my extra hair ribbons and ties, my straightener, some of my husband's extra razors and things like that in that drawer. So it functions really well for our family because the hallway cupboard and cabinet is so close. We keep our extra towels and washcloths in there, which I'll show you. And we just have all of our 5 towels hanging here, a few extra washcloths up there for if guests need, little basket for toilet paper. Again, baskets, cute yet practical. All right, let's move to the end of the hall. All right, so in this hallway, I have shared some of my renovations and little DIYs I've done in here. Recently, I wallpapered it. I guess not recently, probably 6 months ago, with the similar wallpaper that I did in our built-ins and that I did in our master closet. So it's just a really neutral yet beautiful wallpaper. So in these wicker baskets, extra sewing stuff, washcloths, hand towels, medicine. So I do use a lot of homeopathic medicine, so we have a lot of those in there as well. Then to the sides, you can't really see those real great. Up top we have extra sheets and then a couple extra towels for guests. Then also we have our extra towels for the kids and extra bubble bath. Then a few other linens, and down lower here we have toilet paper. Yay, have to have lots of extra toilet paper. And just on the sides too, we have like a first aid kit. It just works well to hold a lot of things, yet I really like making it beautiful and functional at the same time. I don't ever really close these doors. They're just not really needed. I should probably just take them off. So down low here, I have extra sheets for our bed that I keep in here. And then this is a donation or marketplace needing to sell basket, or just to haul out and move to a smaller kids tote, like if they outgrew it. So this basket stays here all the time, and it works really well because the rooms are both right there. So for clothes wise, we can just throw it in if they need to be donated, sold, or moved to a different tote. Then we have extra wipes, extra travel things on each side, little containers for travel shampoos, feminine products, things like that. So again, this cabinet works really well for our family, and I like the way it looks, so I leave the doors open. All right, we're gonna move into the kids' room behind me. Well, welcome to my 3 kiddos room. This is a shared bedroom. It's the same exact size as our master bedroom, but it functions for all 3 kids. We have a dresser here that was actually in our room. We just flip-flop all this because with the baby coming, we needed more space in our room in the drawer for baby clothes. So I found a really cute, you'll see it, antique dresser at a local antique store. But so now there's 3 drawers here for the 3 kids, and they have their closet here. So really functional. I'm gonna probably change out some of the decor up here to make it a little more neutral, because right now it's very girly, because it was a shared girls' room until our little boy moved over here from our room, like when he was 1. So anyways, yeah, we have the toddler bed here. Then right over here is the bunk bed that our girls share. And of course, different ways to organize a kids' room with 3 kids in it, with not making it really messy. So let me share that with you. So first place to talk about is this chest. It is a wonderful book box. It holds lots more books, little things like Mr. Potato Head, string art. If they have quiet time in here, they have quiet time and nap time, all of them in this room. Then my older ones can do some of those more hands-on activities if they would like. So that's nice for the girls to have. then that's really it on this side for the storage, and I'll jump over to under their bunk bed. All right, so under the bed is just very practical storage. We just have little totes, different sizes of their toys, little mini Legos, and Barbie things, and little Melissa and Doug doctor supplies, and then a bigger tote of dress-up clothes. So, and like some kitchen food, play kitchen food that's under there as well. So we don't have a lot of options for different toys, but what we have fits under their bed very nicely. And as you can see, there's a basket of stuffies over there, which if you saw my last video, it got decluttered as well. So we keep our stuffies, our stuffed animals and teddy bears and stuff like that to what can fit into that basket. It is hard, other than I guess the ones they have on their beds, those are the ones they sleep with. It is hard because stuffies get so big and people gift them to you, but you live in a small space, you have to keep decluttering and purging and re-gifting items instead of keeping them all. All right, the closet, I'll just share a little snippet of what their closet organization looks like. All right, so the closet has all their shared hanging clothes, boys' stuff, extra long sleeves, like off-season clothes for them in these totes, and then my girls, one of girls' dresses in the middle and one girl's dresses on the sides. And then we have baby toys in here because we're just going to keep them in here for now. Then their laundry baskets over here and like baby toys here, like play baby toys. And up top they have their little boxes of their what's important to them, their memorabilia type stuff. So pretty simple. Oh, big, massive pillows too that someone handmade for them that they love pulling out and laying on and playing on and making forts and stuff like that. So that is their closet, and I just think it works well for 3 kids. If you keep the clothes more minimal, it functions well. The master bedroom has a good function to it. I love the flow of our master bedroom. It's a very great retreat for us. It will have a baby bassinet right here, and so that's why that rocking chair is there. I have a little basket of diapers already ready because it could be any time. And then just how our bed is set up, our nightstand, I just keep a few more sentimental things in our nightstand, to be honest. And then our new dresser, which I'll show you in our closet. So I love our beautiful new dresser with the mirror, and the baby's clothes are all on the top, so that's really functional and practical. And then my clothes and my husband's clothes, just t-shirts basically, are in that part, and our undergarments are in there. Everything else is in the closet. So our closet functions for both of us. It's the same size closet as our kids' closet. And I've shared a closet renovation video as well, but all my hanging stuff here, baskets of socks, again baskets, my husband's running clothes, my pajamas and shorts, my husband's dressier shorts for work, or khakis I should say, and then just also keeping it kind of cute with like his belts in this little container here, his clothes over here, laundry basket. You have to have function, so I have my drying rack here because I dry my clothes and put it in our room, so that's there. And then up top we have miscellaneous items that are used less often, like ties. My husband doesn't wear ties very often. And things like winter socks and winter leggings that I have up top. And then also down below I do have some extra bins for some baby things, like the extra diapers. So pretty functional. And actually underneath the clothes here I have cloth diapers. I do cloth diaper after the baby passes the whole meconium part I use the disposables for, but I will be using cloth diapers again with this baby as well. So then under my bed, let me show you, I do have a tote that I have my out of season clothes. So just right under here, I have extra clothes for out of season. Well, and actually right now out of season is non-maternity clothes as well. So that is under here. Under our bed, I do have a box of our sentimental things, like some wedding photos, some things we had just that my husband and I have gifted to each other. So just a few other random things under our bed. And if you have a smaller home, I do put bed skirts on our bigger bed because it hides some of that stuff that you might want to put. Everything's in little containers, but underbed storage is very handy for smaller homes. So that is our bedroom, and I'll share with you just our back porch real quick. So you can probably hear my little girls are playing right outside the door, but this is our little back porch laundry space, and I still tried to make it practical yet beautiful. So I hung baskets on the walls. Those are great for going out to pick garden produce, cut flowers. I have a lot of wicker baskets for laundry, so all our cloth napkins, we'll come and throw them in here after a meal is done, put them on there. We actually have like our dryer balls here. This is where our incoming mail goes, laundry detergents, and just very functional yet practical. And I just think it works fine for the size of home that we have. Then on the other side are some storage containers and little boxes for extra shoes and fire starter and summer hats, and a bin with summer sunscreens and bug sprays and gardening gloves, sunglasses, and hooks on the wall for coats, beach towels, swimsuits. You never know what you're gonna find on that side of the porch because it is very small and a lot of fun things come in. So there's even a feather sitting right on this stand that I'm looking at. So friends, I hope you enjoyed my 950 square foot small home tour as a growing family, almost family of 6. So make your space practical, functional, yet beautiful with what you can on a budget, because that will just help you live a life that you love more, so you can spend more time with the people that you love more. So if you are coming over from Hillary's channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'd love to have you join my YouTube community here. I do videos such as these, simple and thrifted living, homemaking, and motherhood videos. So thanks for coming along on this home tour.